Hi, welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful week and you're ready for another talk. This week, we will continue talking about the way aviation is responding to the current situation and the way it is becoming more and more creative to actually get out of the crisis. So, today we will be talking about British Airways that recently teamed up with Sherpa to create or to implement a map where its passengers can see the restrictions in the destinations they are traveling to. So, stick around. Let's talk. So let's talk about British Airways. Let's talk. Well, everybody knows that British Airways has been one of my favorite airlines. I've been traveling with them for a very long time, and it's definitely one of my favorite. And when I see something like this coming out of British Airways page, I always rejoice, and I'm really happy to know that they are really implementing tools and giving their passengers possibilities and helping them do the right thing when they travel and make travel a little bit safer and more practical for everyone, including themselves. So in this video, we will be talking about something British Airways has recently announced in their website, in a press release that they have recently um, published. And it talks about a partnership, so a team up with Sherpa. Sherpa is a technology company that has created a tool. So it maps the it has a map of the world and it maps up all the restriction levels in every country. So when you travel, you can insert the on required information and know exactly what type of restrictions you would encounter in that particular destination. Obviously, once you get back to the UK or any other country, you can do that as well. So you know what's current, because we know that with the pandemic, rules change quite frequently because the situation, obviously, it's always evolving, and governments need to put new rules in place. So that means that, for example, you may leave your country today for a 15 or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month holiday, and when you come back, restrictions have been put in place or have eased, and different rules may apply. The same thing with countries. You may, when you book your trip, the restrictions and the rules in the country that you are going to may be a certain set of rules, but on the exact day that you are traveling, those rules may have changed, and therefore you need to adjust to all these regulations and always be updated with the latest. So with this tool, what you can do is you can see the travel restrictions in the country that you are going to visit. It even allows you to adjust your results by inserting your um, vaccination status or your COVID test status, and then it will give you the set of rules that apply in your particular case. So it's a very useful tool. I'm pretty sure other airlines will come on board and this will be spread out across the industry, because it is something that I consider very useful, and I think it's a very good idea. So it's a good thing, because you not only can see what you will encounter in the places that you go, but then you will be updated when you go back home, because all of that will be there as well. So it's a tool that basically allows you to be updated and allows you to know the latest in regards to restrictions. I think this is something that it's, once again, it's aviation being creative, and I think it's a good example of creativity in this industry, and a great example indeed of the work that aviation in this sector has been doing to make it possible and to prove that flying can be safe if we really follow a certain set of rules, and if we really put measures in place that makes it good for everyone. And I think this was a very good idea. I read this press conference and I thought straight away that I was going to do a video about it, because I think this is something that will help a lot when obviously Europe has different sets of restrictions from what we have here in Australia, where we actually cannot fly, we cannot go overseas. The international traveling is completely over, is completely closed. And even within the country now, with the unfortunate current outbreak of Delta variant, obviously we don't have even domestic flights have been cancelled, and things are pretty grim at the moment, actually. But in Europe, there's never been a situation as it's never been as closed as Australia is at the moment, and there's always some movement allowed, and therefore I think something like this is the way forward. And I think other airlines will definitely look at what British Airways is doing at the moment, and possibly implement it in their own system, because this way is really a way of facilitating things for everyone and making it easy, making it, because let's face it, we will eventually need to learn how to live with the situation and live with COVID. And I think if all of these things are implemented, and if we have technology that can tell us, okay, we're going to go to such and such place, let's see what we need, because this used to happen before with other illnesses and other problems. For example, if you are traveling to certain countries where they have malaria or yellow fever or something like that, you still need to look for the restrictions, you still need to look for the rules, get your vaccination and things like that. So this I think this won't be different from that in the future. Once the population gets vaccinated and we start getting more movement, this is the future, this is what we will have. We will need to check the countries that we are traveling to and see what are the rules in regards to COVID, and what we need to do in order to travel to those places, just like we do for malaria, just like we do for yellow fever and other illnesses. Um, and I think in the end we will just adapt. We will just incorporate this in the set of rules, in the set of requirements that we need to travel, and that's it. And we just adjust. And this is actually for me, and I believe this is actually the way forward. And that's all for today. I hope you really liked our meeting or our talk of today. And you are as happy as I am about this too, and about this idea from British Airways. I will leave the link for the article, for the press release, so you can also read the article from British Airways and know all the information about this tool, and about what British Airways is currently doing in regards to these travel restrictions. Um, Before I go, I would like to tell you, if you have any ideas, if you have any comments, any experiences, have you traveled already with British Airways and used this tool? Let us know how it works. Let us know if you are happy with the results or not. And of course, leave a like in the video, the YouTube algorithm and all that old story. And subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a talk every week. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.